Hello everybody, it's Cobalt here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sitting down and addressing the complaints, comments, and concerns about the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive LPS dragons. So if you haven't seen my most recent video, BasicFun released 3 new dragons that will be exclusive to the SDCC convention this month. It goes from July 25th through July 28th. Unfortunately, with the timing of the release, a lot of people were very excited and then very angry because obviously, if you guys are familiar with comic conventions or conventions in general, the tickets are no longer available for sale with the event being so close to this announcement. For San Diego Comic-Con in particular, the tickets actually go on sale about a year in advance, and you have to get into a lottery system to even be able to get a chance to buy the tickets in general. Because it is such a popular and huge event, I'd say it's probably the largest convention in the United States. So obviously there are no more tickets available, so I really don't know how many LPS collectors will even be at the event like this, and either way it's just a lot of money to spend for the chance to maybe get one LPS that you really want. But because I've just seen so many complaints on Instagram these past couple days, I figured that I would sit down and make this video so that we can all have a mature and healthy discussion about what is going on. Of course, this video is directed at no one in particular. I feel like nobody should get harassed for their opinions, no matter what they are. Your opinions about this situation is completely valid. I totally understand being upset and frustrated, but again, there are better, more mature ways we can go about speaking about this. I posted about it on my Instagram story so that people could message me in my DMs and continue the conversation, and quite a few people did. And a lot of people also mentioned that they did not feel comfortable with publicly posting their opinions, which I completely understand, which again is why I want to make this video so that my comment section of said video can be a safe place to talk about these. And again, this video is just going to be me talking, so if that is not something you're interested, feel free to click off this video. And one more little disclaimer, I do not profit off of any of my videos, so making this has absolutely no gain for me whatsoever. Again, I just felt like it was my duty to talk about it. Alright, so why are people getting so upset about this? Well, for starters, there are 3 different dragon colors, and at the convention, they're going to be $25 each, which again, pretty hefty price to pay for one LPS, whether it's exclusive or not, since generally if we're looking at the blind boxes, one pet is only like $4, and that's not even, again, counting the price of the Comic-Con ticket itself. If you were to buy one at the convention, they are also sold blind, which means you don't actually know which of the 3 colors you will get until after you make the purchase. And finally, and most importantly, from what I understand, these will only exclusively be sold at San Diego Comic-Con and not available online or at any shared retailers. One of the biggest arguments that I have heard for why this makes absolutely no sense is the fact that the San Diego Comic-Con short hair cat from back in the day was both sold at the convention and online as well. Either way, if the item is also sold online, it sells out very fast. You pretty much have like a 2-minute window to hop on really quickly and buy these things before they get sold out if they're super popular. Trust me, as a Funko Pop collector, I know your pain. And I've been doing some research myself trying to figure out if there is a way to buy these dragons online, and so far the only thing that I have found is that there is an online store portal for San Diego Comic-Con, but it seems like you can only access that if you have a badge to the event, so I'm not sure if there is another way to buy them online, unfortunately. And that's, again, a totally fair complaint. I actually had no idea that the Comic-Con cat was also sold online, so I just generally found that very interesting. But the thing is, it's been like almost 10 years or more than 10 years since that happened. That's a very long time. And collectors, whether they're little toys like an LPS or a more high-quality figure, like, I guess I'll just use a Funko Pop as an example since I'm literally surrounded by them right now. But anyways, the market for collectibles has changed so much, and so has the convention space. And nowadays I see so many different toys and figures getting exclusives in the same exact way, and not all of them are shared with a retailer or sold online. For example, again, going back to Funko, since that is an experience that I have that I can most directly reference and feel like I can speak on, they do exclusives for pretty much every single convention that goes on in the United States every year, and of course SDCC is the biggest one, so they basically release all of their exclusives about a month before the event. So even if you wanted to buy tickets, you would not know which ones were exclusive yet. They announce them, and then they also announce which ones are shared with a specific retailer, so sometimes that retailer is Target, for example. But other times there are still Funko Pops that they release that are not shared with any retailer, they are not available online, they are only going to be at the event. And that is essentially what is happening here with these 3 LPS. And again, even with all of that context, I still understand the complaints, and I understand that a lot of people do not understand why this is the case, and that is perfectly fair. But there are quite a few people who are basically like spamming BasicFun in their customer service email, trying to ask for them to stop doing this, which is extremely immature and honestly crazy to me. I'm gonna keep saying this. I understand your frustration because I would be frustrated too. But the thing is, it's probably just some poor intern that has no idea what Littlest Pet Shops are, who is reading all of these messages, and they're just gonna be deleted, which is why we should sit down and have a mature, understanding conversation about why this is happening and what this means, so that BasicFun can learn from this and do it differently if they decide to do more exclusives next year. And I understand that a lot of people are probably more upset about this situation in particular just because BasicFun is such a smaller company compared to something like Funko, or even compared to Hasbro. I'm wondering if Hasbro was still the leading company behind LPS, if people would not be reacting as much, because that's just expected with how many other exclusives that they have. But it is also normal to wait this late in the year to announce the exclusives right before the convention. So again, that makes it a little bit more tricky, and I don't want to encourage anybody to quote unquote waste their money to try to go to the convention next year. But people's reactions to this could definitely change whether or not that is going to happen again next year at all. And again, these reactions could also make it so that the pets are available online and in person. I think that it would be cool if, since there's 3 options, maybe one of them could be available online. But again, sadly for now, I do not believe that is the case. This video is completely unscripted, as most of my videos are, so I'm kind of just going off of what pops into my head and what I know I wanted to talk about. If there's anything that I forget to say in this video, you can definitely check the description or my pinned comment. Another thing that I obviously have to address is the fact that as LPS collectors, we are all in a privileged position, being able to spend money on something like this that is not a need, it is a want. You might feel like you need it, I definitely do, but it's not something that you actually need to survive. So being able to spend your money on something like this is obviously a privilege, and being able to be a collector with thousands of LPS is also a privilege. I'm very happy for anybody who has any sort of LPS, who has a giant collection. That's amazing. On top of that, I myself have to address the fact that I am in a more privileged position being an LPS Brand Ambassador. It is literally a job that I was hired on as, and part of my job is to take in your feedback, but also to review products that BasicFun sends to me. And obviously they have sent me quite a few Littlest Pet Shops to review with you guys, which has been very fun, and I am so grateful, because that is literally something that I never in my entire life would have expected to happen. I have a decent sized following, and I feel like a lot of people on Instagram at least know me, but here on YouTube, my following is not the largest. I mean, I can't believe I have 14,000 subscribers. That's absolutely insane. But compared to some of the other people that I share this job with, they have like 200,000, and I'm over here just like this much smaller channel. So it honestly amazes me that I was chosen for this position at all, and I really appreciate it, and I will be eternally grateful for what I have. Which also leads me to the fact that because they have sent me so many products in the past, for this month's video, they will most likely be sending me these LPS, or at least one of them. I'm not 100% sure, but this will most likely be the case. But again, that is part of my job, and I recognize the privilege that I have with receiving that. That was just something that I felt I needed to address, because I don't feel like I addressed that well enough in what I posted on my Instagram story yesterday. But even if I wasn't working with BasicFun, and even if I wasn't likely to receive these pets, I would still be excited for them, because it means that the dragons are finally back. The exclusives I think look really cool. I really like them, and I would be happy for anybody who received these pets. I am so happy for anybody who owns the Comic-Con cat. I think that's amazing, whether you spent $2 on it or whether you spent $1,000 on it. The fact that you have that piece in your collection is so cool. Even if it doesn't seem like it now, BasicFun is actually listening to us. Me and the other brand ambassadors actually have monthly meetings with them. We haven't had one for July yet because the month just started, but I'm sure this is probably a topic of conversation that will come up in that meeting. From what I understand, for toy companies, everything is pretty much decided a year in advance, so a lot of our feedback will not be taken account until next year for wave 3 and 4, but they are legitimately listening to us and taking down notes and taking down ideas. I know that's easy for me to say given my position once again, but I would not be saying that if I did not believe it was true. Anyways, let's continue this conversation down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in my next one.